hand discomfort. We don't suspect that it's anything serious. He got checked out again yesterday, and he's day-to-day would be the best way to describe that.
Chance he throws this weekend?
Yes. Not sure in what role or what day. Certainly based on a combination of what's best for the team, first and foremost, and what's best for Kenyon and his health. And the good news is it was confirmed that it's mild hand discomfort. So
Cole's got to be ready and raring to go after Monday.
Yeah, good for him. He's been around. He's been in our rotation. He was postured to pitch on Monday. Certainly we think him being in the rotation, he might not be our Friday guy as it unfolds, but we certainly have confidence in him, and he's matching up with what looked like a Friday guy that was very successful. We only gave up one hit last week for the Gales, but we certainly have confidence in Cole, and he's been around. And sometimes, that's a kind of a status symbol for the pitching staff to be that first guy. Our first home game, maybe taking it away from the guy that earned it more, Kenyon, is disappointing, but I'm sure Cole will do fine. So, and then we know that we're going to have Nelson and Kafka on Saturday, and then TBA on Sunday.
After last weekend, you feel like you'll have some offense Cole can be confident he'll have some offense to back him?
Well, it's baseball. We've all been around baseball to know that you can score 25 one day, and then the momentum breaker is the next day pitcher, and then you get shut out the next day. So that was an area that we passed our first test. Scoring 24 runs in 3 games. We're happy about that run production and some of the things we did offensively, but we're not happy that we came back 1 and 2. And so we've identified some areas that we need to get better in so that we can win instead of doesn't do you any good to score a bunch of runs and come up short, I guess would be the best way to say that.
Almost felt like a bit of a reverse of how some of last year went. Your pitchers did their job. It was the hitting that was the problem. These 3 games, it kind of looks like that's flipped a little bit. What was the takeaway when you guys went into film and kind of looked at how this first series went?
Well, it's a small sample, and a very offensive ballpark at Texas Tech. Warm weather, wind blowing out 25 to 30 miles an hour. Might have been conducive to us nibbling a little bit more, not throwing strikes. From one umpire to the other, their zones change, so it becomes easier and more difficult to pitch. The confines of PK, the wind won't be blowing out 25 miles an hour. It'll probably be wet, so the conditions will be different. We were concerned about our relief pitching and the inexperience as we went there. That revealed why we were worried about it. We had a good effort on Friday in relief. Quite frankly, other than Kafka, we didn't get the kind of starts that we thought we would off of Kenyon and Nelly, and I'm sure they're postured to come back. And so I think the sample's a little small to say, hey, this is going to be a problem. This is going to be good. Very encouraged by, start 4 or 5 freshmen in your lineup, and they didn't look like freshmen. They looked like upperclassmen. So that was one of the bright spots. And we're building on the things that we did well, and we're trying to shore up the things that we didn't do well, just like every other team in the country.
Is it nice to get back here so early in the year? I mean, having some February weather, and I think for OSU it's like a week or 2 until they go back up to Goss. Is it nice to kind of get started this early at PK?
Yeah, we always roll the dice, so to speak, with the weather here, and tend to play sooner here than our softball team or the Beavers. And if the weather holds up, it's great to be in front of our fans on our whole park. And but standing in crummy weather is not good for anybody. So it looks like we're going to have to stand in some rain, and hopefully our tradition of getting our games in without hurting anybody and having quality baseball will be there. And we can see with this homestand the next 2 weekends if we can do some damage on winning games.
How important is it going to be just to get a couple series wins in hand here in this first month, and just get at least the home side of things off to the right start?
Yeah, they all count. At the end of the trail, everybody's pointed towards conference, and you want to win a championship and be in contention. But in this day and age with RPI and making the playoffs, every single game counts, whether it's a regional game like a Texas Tech playing a ranked team, and two strong WCC opponents that I have great respect for, St. Mary's and LMU, coming up here. It'll be a good barometer for us of how we're playing the game.
Speaking of the bullpen, anybody throw in such a way that you were more encouraged than the numbers might have revealed? Anything like that?
Christian Schifatelli said, "Hey, look at me. I'm doing fine." I think Teleshay did fine. He had a deal with his thumb where it started bleeding on Saturday, and that was discomforting for him. So even with that, I thought he did okay. Fuller had a good outing his first time, and until the second inning, he gave up a home run, and then he changed a little bit. That wasn't so encouraging. Robbie Ahlstrom had a really good performance in his first college win on Friday. Keaton Chase got his feet wet and did fine. And just the other guys need to pitch more in character, and it's always a good test out of the gate when a young man goes out there and you catch him trying too hard. That's not necessarily a bad thing. That means he's not just trying hard for himself, he's trying really hard for the team. So getting that first one under your belt, whether you're a junior, a senior, or a freshman, becomes critical. And whether you're a coach that's starting his 42nd year in coaching, getting that first one under your belt's a good thing. So hopefully they balance their emotions a little bit better as we move forward.
Schifatelli got the mentality to be an 8th, 9th inning guy.
Yep.
And the stuff. He's going to be one of the guys that's going to be given that opportunity, unless we change our personnel and we move one of the proven stoppers, Kenyon or Nelson, into that role.